Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Nano Blitz Podcast. My name is Ben Adelman, and I'm here with my friend and co-host, Ethan Silver. Ethan?
So it is finally the last week of the NFL regular season.
Yeah, I mean, usually we would have already finished by now, but with the extra week, one more extra week of football to be played, and there is certainly a lot of playoff clinching scenarios, playoff eliminating scenarios this week. When you look at the teams fighting for spots, you still have Pittsburgh fighting for a spot. I believe Baltimore is technically still fighting for a spot.
It's things are not all settled, which is crazy because it's just what this extra game does.
Let's see. New Orleans is still fighting for a spot. Raiders are still fighting for a spot. A lot of teams are still fighting for a spot. This is nowhere near settled. I believe NFL. In the NFC, there's only one. Oh, and the Chargers are still fighting for a spot. Or did they clinch?
Not sure.
Oh no, they didn't clinch. They're still the Chargers are still fighting for a spot. They have to win. The Colts are also fighting for a spot. So there's like 5 teams. There's 5 teams basically in the AFC fighting for spots though. You got Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Indianapolis, Las Vegas, and Los Angeles. And then in the NFC, you have I believe it's just San Francisco and New Orleans. Right?
Yeah, I hope New Orleans doesn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, it's looking like it's going to be San Francisco. I mean, we'll get more into that in these games, but surprising there's no Thursday night game this week, but instead they're opting for 2 Saturday games.
And I really love Saturday day games.
Yeah. So these are two pretty good games. I mean, not the best games, but they're decent games. And let's start off with our first one, kicking off the final week of football. Chiefs versus Broncos.
I know a division matchup is always fun because
and I don't think the Chiefs will be resting people this week because they don't have the number one. They're not even the current number 1 seed, so they're definitely going to be fighting for that.
I mean, yeah, this NFL that we're in is so tight, so it's really awesome to see all this.
Yeah, there's no way that the Chiefs are resting anyone. They want that extra week of rest with the number 1 seed, and I think they're going to do their part in getting – no, I don't know what's going to happen with the Titans, but I think they're going to do their part and win this game.
Yeah, I definitely agree. The Broncos don't even go near to matching the Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, they're starting Drew Lock again. It's just kind of a disappointing season for the Broncos. I mean, I don't know how high their expectations are. I've seen very varied, expectations from the beginning of the year, but definitely not what Broncos fans wanted at the beginning of the year.
But also, to be fair, I hear Broncos fans saying, we're a quarterback away. But that's not true. It's just not true.
Yeah, I mean, their defense is pretty solid, but they're not just a quarterback away. Their offense has significant holes. I mean, the O-line has some holes. And Jerry Jeudy has been really disappointing so far.
And then there's a scheme in the coaching staff.
Yeah.
They need to go. People don't take that into consideration.
I 100% agree. I think that people are overlooking their problems by just being a quarterback away when that's definitely not the case. They are way more than a quarterback away.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think if they were a quarterback away, we would even see them make the playoffs this season.
Yeah, I could see that. So both going Chiefs in that one. Next up, game that doesn't really mean much because both of these teams have actually already clinched the playoffs. Cowboys versus Eagles.
Yeah, that's really upsetting that probably my 2 least favorite teams in the entire NFL both clinched the playoffs, but I definitely think that the Eagles are getting a little too overhyped now. I know they've been unstoppable as of recently, but I still think that the Cowboys will take this one.
You know what? I think honestly, this game really doesn't matter. I think I'm going to take the Eagles because I think the Cowboys just might be resting more people because it's impossible for them to get the number 1 seed no matter what. And obviously it's impossible for the Eagles to get the number 1 seed no matter what. Both of these teams should be resting people unless, I mean, maybe the Eagles could play people. I don't know. But I think the Eagles are going to win this because I think Dallas it's just going to come down to who rests more people. But one thing I want to talk about is I was thinking about this the other day. The Eagles have silently had one of the most successful rebuilds in recent memory. If you think about it, if
anybody and follows Ben's Twitter, they know that they saw that tweet because I saw that on Ben's Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, it's true though. But I don't think they're getting their GM and coach are getting enough credit for it. I mean, I wasn't a big fan of their coach, but he's definitely turned it around in the later half of the year, running the ball, giving the team an actual identity like they didn't have at the beginning of the year. He's done a great job with that. After I thought he was one of the worst coaches in the league at the start of the year, but he's definitely come into his own. And then not to even mention the fact that this draft, they have 3 first-round picks.
Yeah.
They have their own first-round pick, the Colts first-round pick, and the Dolphins first-round pick.
Yeah,
what a great position the Eagles are in.
It's probably one of the most raw young teams like that right now.
Yeah, and I mean, Jalen Hurts has been up and down, but even if they don't want to stick with him, they have the draft capital to trade for a superstar like Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers if they want to. But they could always stick with Jalen Hurts. I could easily see them doing that.
Yeah, definitely. I think that the Eagles. I don't know about Jalen Hurts, to be honest. I feel like no one really does yet.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about Jalen Hurts either, but it gives them a lot of flexibility this offseason with all that draft capital because
they don't feel pressured to start Jalen Hurts unless, like, of course, like he wins the Super Bowl or something.
Yeah.
But, they don't feel pressured to start him, but they also have a quarterback that they can start if they need to.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's kind of what the Patriots did of Cam Newton last offseason. Like you saw, they extended him. They just wanted to have a quarterback like they could have to start. They didn't know that Mac Jones was going to fall to them on draft day. They didn't know that. So they just wanted to have a quarterback they could start if they had to. I think the Eagles are doing a similar thing. Jalen Hurts hasn't been the best this year, but he also hasn't been the worst. Very inconsistent quarterback, especially through passing. But yeah, I think that the Eagles are in a great situation and they could be back to the Super Bowl in a couple of years, honestly.
Oh, I don't know about all that, but that might just be the Giants fan and me talking.
I don't know. 3 first-round picks on an already playoff team is very impressive. It's not even like they're like terrible too. They're what, playoff team with a winning record. It's not like they're like sneaking in like how Washington did last year.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, it seems that the NFC East just went from one of the most boring divisions in football to one of the most exciting. It just
I would not say it's one of the most exciting because the other 2 teams.
Yeah, I don't know. Football team to me is an interesting team. And then the Giants, yeah, they're a mess. But
yeah,
you can't win them all. And there's still like the West, both Wests, like North and
100%. Those have been the 2 most exciting for the past couple of years, and it's gonna stay. It's looking like it's gonna stay that way for the future.
And both Norths, I would even say, stay interesting.
Nah, not the NFC North.
You don't think so?
Nah.
I mean, I know, no, like obviously the Packers dominate, but Vikings and Bears have been up and down, and like
this is the same thing that happens every year in the NFC North. The Packers win the Packers win the division. The Vikings fail, even though they have tremendous amount of talent. The Bears either underperform or just suck, and then the Lions suck always.
Yeah. When do you think the Bears are finally going to get a quarterback? Like one that works?
What do you mean?
I mean, how have the Bears really shown any? They haven't shown any promise with quarterback recently.
I mean, I guess, but Justin Fields is a rookie, and he doesn't have the best coach either.
No, Matt Nagy is the worst coach in the league. He's up there.
Yeah, right up there with the division rival Mike Zimmer. But yeah, I don't think Justin Fields has shown enough to like. I mean, he showed flashes.
Yeah,
it's not like he's just been like terrible. Like
yeah, but even I mean, even Nick Foles shows flashes.
I guess. I think it's too early to judge. I still like that move, even though that's going to cost them a pretty high pick. I still like that move of trading up to get Fields. I think that was a good move. I don't know how he fell that far. I like that move on draft day, and I like it now, even though the Giants are going to get a good pick that they'll probably waste out of it. But we got a little off track there. But next, speaking of the Giants, we have the other division, the other division game in that division, Washington versus the Giants, who are actually getting a new name on February 2nd, which is basically confirmed to be the Washington Admirals.
That's also the day after my birthday. Yeah. So Washington football team actually is had a 2-year run.
Yeah, they're going to be how do you feel about the Washington Admirals, though?
So when you go and look at like stats and you check what teams people played for, and you look at like someone like Alex Smith or something, you'll see Washington football team.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fun. But even though Washington beat us earlier, I'm actually gonna say that the Giants win this.
I actually think the Giants are going to win it as well.
Right.
See, this game doesn't mean anything for either team. I mean,
No.
nothing. I mean, not even really like young talent. I mean, since this is week 18, we're kind of going to do like reflections of the teams we're talking about. So with these two teams, one disappointing team and one disappointing team, but we thought they were going to be disappointing.
Yeah, at least my team was bad and we thought we were going to be bad.
I didn't think the Giants were going to be this bad. I mean,
I did.
Weren't they like one game away from the playoffs last year? Oh, wait, but that was in the terrible division.
Yeah, where Dak was injured and the Eagles were working things out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Giants this season has been just an absolute disaster. Nothing really went right for them this year. I mean,
Yeah.
Saquon probably not going to get re-signed. He's been terrible. He hasn't been like a top like 15 running back this year. Terrible, especially as the second overall pick. Daniel Jones, I mean, he had a couple good games, but majority of the year, same old stuff with Daniel Jones.
Struggled with injury towards the end as well.
Struggled with injury. I'm not going to put that against him because he's not really been injury prone so far in his career. But in the majority of games, he was healthy. Same turnover problems. I mean, Mike Glennon, that wasn't very good either.
Wasn't very good.
Kenny Golladay has looked like a very disappointing signing.
Yeah. I mean, Kadarius Toney showed flashes, but then he didn't do much since.
Not really. He showed one flash.
Mm-hmm.
He showed one game where he dropped 200 yards, got ejected, and he was never the same.
Yeah.
I don't know what he definitely has potential. I'll say that.
Giants staff has a lot of work to do.
Yeah, I mean, as a Giants fan, would you keep Joe Judge?
I can't believe they are.
Would you personally keep him though? Like,
no,
you wouldn't.
Probably not.
Yeah, I mean, he's shown that. Not even just that. He's shown that to be like the team has been very undisciplined under him.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
There's been. I remember like the start of the year, there was like a fight or something where like Daniel Jones got like crushed or something.
Yeah,
I remember that at like the beginning of the year, and that's just not setting up a good culture in your locker room. And it's not like he's like some like amazing like football genius either. I mean, he doesn't have the most talented team, but they need to be more disciplined, is what I'm saying. But
I totally agree.
Washington, on the other hand, extremely disappointing season, probably even more disappointing. I actually had them as a Super Bowl contender this year, so very disappointing. Ryan Fitzpatrick went down earlier this year, but I didn't really think it was going to affect them that much, and it really didn't. What affected them was their defense turning from one of the best from one of the best young defenses to one of the worst in the league. Honestly, they've really sucked. I mean, Chase Young was terrible,
especially the step down. That's what I was going to say. Step down from Chase Young.
Yeah, Chase Young is a fraud. Jeremy Chin should have run Rookie of the Year, but like really, like Chase Young, he was supposed to be this monster coming into the league, and I get he won Rookie of the Year his first year, which was undeserved. But was he really that spectacular his rookie year? No. He was good.
I mean, 7.5 sacks isn't anything to like go crazy.
It's pretty. It seems a little like nothing when you look at Micah Parsons though. It's just so hard to like look at it the same.
I mean, especially TJ Watt too.
Yeah, I mean, but Micah Parsons is a rookie. That's what I mean.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, two very disappointing teams, and another match that doesn't mean anything. Bengals Browns. Baker Mayfield said he may request a trade this offseason, actually. Recently, as today. Bengals, Joe Burrow's not playing. They're going to rest their starters, and I think they're going to lose to the Browns, but no one cares.
I agree. I think that they're going to lose to the Browns too. But I think that they're a better team than the Browns.
I mean, if you're the Browns, what do you do with Baker Mayfield? I mean, I personally think that his terrible season this year was largely due to him playing injured. I don't think he should have been playing most of those games. I think they should have placed him on IR. But I mean, he seems very unhappy with the head coach and just the organization in general. And this is the first like decent quarterback they've had like ever. Yeah.
And yeah, we're calling we're calling Baker decent. Yeah, he threw 4 interceptions in the game. It happens. It happens. Peyton Manning threw a lot of interceptions.
Lamar Jackson did it in one.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So I don't know. We'll have to see about Baker, but we both have Browns there.
Yeah, and I know you have strong opinions on Baker Mayfield.
Yeah. Let's not get into that. Another divisional matchup there, though. This is just all divisional matchups.
I think that's the point. It's literally all divisional matchups. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the point of this week, I think.
So we have the Steelers and the Ravens. So the Steelers need the Colts to lose to the Jaguars, and they need to beat the Ravens in order for them to go to the playoffs.
Are the Ravens still even in contention? I'm confused how they're in contention.
I'm not sure.
Okay, here I'm pulling it up right now. This is what they need. They need to win. LA needs to lose. Indianapolis needs to lose in Miami. So it's basically the same thing as the Steelers. I don't think the tie really affects, because since they play each other, I don't think the tie really affects them that much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's basically same scenario as the Steelers. Either team who wins this is going to need. Actually, no, the Steelers is a little different. All they need is to win, Indianapolis to lose, and Las Vegas and LA to not tie.
Yeah.
All they need is for that game not to tie, and they'll make it.
It'd be funny if the Jaguars beat the Colts, but then they tied.
No, but think about this. Our other friend Ethan was telling us about us the other day. If Indy loses against the Jaguars and the Steelers win, Las Vegas and LA could realistically make an agreement to tie so they both make the playoffs. I know that sounds crazy.
Yeah, to kick out the Steelers.
Yeah, they could. That would definitely. I mean, it's possible considering that game's the Sunday night game. That's the last game being played this week.
Yeah, that is a very interesting.
Imagine you bring those two teams out for Sunday night football, the last regular season game of the year, and they just kneel the ball every play or something.
And legitimately, it could happen.
It could happen. I mean, it's a good. I would do that.
Yeah, I feel like they would get fined.
I don't think they would.
I'm gonna go with the Steelers here. TJ Watt's gonna break the single season sack record on Alejandro Villanueva this game.
I'm actually gonna go with the Steelers too, because Lamar is still in doubt and even then, Ravens might have the worst defense in the league this season. Atrocious. I don't even know how they're in playoff content. Well, I know how. It's Lamar Jackson. But yeah, I think Steelers are gonna win. Yeah, you're right. TJ Watt, we were talking about this the other day. TJ Watt's he's versing Alejandro Villanueva, former Steeler, who's been one of the worst linemen in the league this year.
He's really been incredibly bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we both go Steelers. Next, we have probably going to be a slaughter.
A what?
Probably going to be a slaughter.
Yeah, I mean, Green Bay won't be resting people because they actually need to win this. So, yeah, Green Bay will beat the Lions.
Yeah, we both agree. And then Colts, Jaguars, as much as I want the Jaguars to win, so it's interesting, I'm going to take the Colts.
Oh, I want the Jaguars to win so bad.
Me too. It makes things interesting.
If I pick the Colts here and the Jaguars win, that is definitive proof of the Colts curse.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take the Colts, but just keep that in the back of your mind when you're watching these games. If the Jaguars somehow win that is the definitive proof for next season or playoffs, because we're going to be doing this for the playoffs. But that is definitive proof that whatever team I pick in a Colts game, the other team will win. Yeah, I am going for the Colts in this one.
Yeah, and then next, I always love these matchups. The Bears-Vikings.
The Bears and the Vikings.
This is both teams that are always second fiddle to Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay Packers.
Yep. Very sloppy games whenever they play.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of very unprofessional stuff goes down.
It seems like this is basically a similar season for both of these teams as they have the Vikings. As we were saying earlier, the Vikings underperformed once again. Extremely talented team and their fans, or not even their fans, but NFL fans in general need to realize that Kirk Cousins is not the problem, even if he wants to encase himself in plexiglass. His play on the field is not a problem. He's not the problem on this team.
No.
The problem is the coaching and the scheme. and they're highly talented players on defense not living up to it. I don't even, when you look at the roster, like we talk about this a lot, but they probably have a top 5 roster in the league. They have so many talented players.
Yeah.
And what has their coach done with it?
Nothing.
One Minneapolis Miracle.
Fired. Man should have been fired a long time ago.
Yeah, exactly. He probably would have if it wasn't for that miracle play.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't care about this game. The Bears, I mean, even if they lose, they don't have their picks, so there's no point in losing.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the Vikings.
I'm gonna go against you. I'm gonna take the Bears. I don't think Fields is playing. I think Nick Foles. Why not? I think he's gonna win one in Week 18.
Yeah, who knows? Derrick Henry. What's the news on him, Ben?
There is not confirmed. I know he returned to practice, but if I were the Titans, I wouldn't play him in this game.
Me neither. But because I definitely think they could beat the Texans without Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
But it would be nice to see him go for over 1,000 in a game where he only played like 13 games. Not even.
Dude, he played 8 games.
What?
Ethan, he played like 8
I thought he got injured week 12.
No.
Oh my God.
He got injured week 8.
It's really been that long?
You played like 7.5 games, yeah.
Jeez. That's crazy.
But yeah, the Titans are going to be probably the scariest team in the league, especially if they lock up that number 1 seed. I mean, all those talks going into the year about how their defense is terrible and how they wouldn't be able to get the job done, they've put all of that aside to have
Kevin Byard really took a step up.
He's always been good, but yeah, he took a step up. Jeffrey Simmons has been outstanding. Definitely a breakout season for him.
Oh, yeah.
Harold Landry's been really good. Just an all-around very good season by the Titans defense. I'm really impressed with how they've been playing.
Yeah, me too. And opposite of everything Ben just said for the Texans.
I disagree.
What do you think really shows?
No, I disagree. People like to go crazy with like bad teams. I don't think people realize how hard it is to not win a single game. Like everyone was saying on like social media at the start of the year that the Texans were going to go 0-17. I did not think that was going to happen.
Neither did I.
Even though they probably have the worst roster in the league, I didn't think that was going to happen.
Neither did I.
Because in the NFL, it's different than like college football. Teams can just win any given day. I mean, you saw the Jaguars with Urban Meyer beat the Bills earlier this year. You've seen crazy stuff like that happen. It happens every year, and it's very hard for a team to not win a game. It's why it's only happened, I think, 3 times in NFL history. No, 2 times.
What?
That a team's not won a game. I think it's
you mean 0-16 seasons? Yeah, twice. Twice, yeah.
Didn't the Bucks do it, though, in the 14-game season?
They may have, but in 16 games, it was Lions. And
Well, I mean, that was already out the window because the extra game. But Texans, I don't think it's that disappointing of the season. I mean, what did you expect? Like, we knew Deshaun Watson wasn't going to play. God knows what's going to happen with him. Davis Mills hasn't been terrible. He had a very good game last week. I think they won last week, actually.
So what are you saying? Do you think the Texans are going to beat them?
Nah. No, I think the Titans will win. I was just saying I don't think the Texans have really been disappointed this year.
I thought you were trying to say that the
Texans. I mean, they've won 4 games this year. I don't think that's anything to frown on considering their situation going into the year.
I mean, yeah, but their situation coming out of it still has so many questions and so many holes.
That's true, but you expect that. Like, they've at least developed, like, Davis Mills, like, he's probably not the long-term guy, but he could be a nice bridge quarterback for defining your actual guy. I think that that was a pretty good pick.
Yeah, but you don't really want to go from starting quarterback to bridge quarterback, like nothing.
Not just that, superstar quarterback to bridge quarterback, but obviously you couldn't predict what was going to happen with Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Like that just
pick the Titans though.
Yeah, I'm picking the Titans as well. I just wanted to talk a little about the Texans' current state of the franchise and how I think 4 wins. I would say was good. It was above expectations for them.
Yeah,
and that's assuming they lose this game.
Here is something I thought I would never say on the podcast. Go Falcons.
Why?
Because this is next game is Saints and Falcons, and I want the Falcons to
Why
win.
don't you want the Saints to make the playoffs?
I don't want the Saints to make the playoffs.
I mean, I don't want them to either, being a Panthers fan, but I'm curious behind your reasoning.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like there's something about crushing the Saints that would just be nice.
I mean, for me, it's obvious why I want the Falcons to win. It's a win-win scenario for Panthers fans if the Falcons win. The Falcons get a worse pick and the Saints don't make the playoffs.
Yeah. Falcons ruin their draft stock, and the Saints make the playoffs.
Yeah, so I do think the Saints are going to win, though.
I'm going to take the Saints, yeah. But I'm rooting for the Falcons.
You know what? Actually, I'm switching. I'm going with the Falcons.
All right.
This is we've talked about this many times, but they like to win these late season games. They almost beat the Bills last week. Surprising. That was an interesting game in the snow. I think the Falcons are going to win. You know, I don't think they care much about ruining their draft pick. If you get to knock out a division rival out of playoff contention, that's a huge win for your team and the fan base. That makes you so happy, regardless of what does to your pick. That's a great thing to do. And I think that this is going to be a good game. This is going to be a surprisingly good game. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Atlanta. They've pretty much done what I thought they were going to do this year. Actually, they've exceeded my expectations a little, but didn't really lead to anything. Matt Ryan is still just like there. Kyle Pitts has been pretty good. I still think they should have traded back in that draft. I don't think they needed to take a luxury pick.
Yeah,
But,
probably. I
God
mean,
knows what's going on if Calvin Ridley.
He's been good though. Pitts has been good though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anyone who thought he wasn't going to be good. He's probably the safest pick in the draft.
Yeah. Yeah. So we both take, or no, I take Saints. You take Falcons.
Yeah, I do want to talk about Calvin Ridley though. Obviously he's had his issues throughout the year, but he recently stated that he may request a trade this offseason. Any possible destinations where you would want to see him end up? I know I have one in mind.
I mean, I can definitely just see like the Patriots.
Yeah.
You know, the usual like wide receiver candidates, like the Patriots, Ravens.
I don't think Ravens.
No, probably.
The Ravens have shown the Ravens have shown that they're not going to trade for a receiver.
Yeah, definitely. But Lions.
They've had so many opportunities. They've had Odell.
There's places like the Lions also.
Not going to want to go there.
No, but I mean he could.
I don't see why he would do that.
He could go to the Chargers. I know the Chargers want a new receiver.
The Chargers want Devontae though.
Yeah.
They're aiming big. They're going to aim big for Devontae. I don't think they'll trade for him.
The Browns I think would be interesting.
Be a good candidate. I still think the best fit is New England though.
Yeah. I was gonna say.
I mean, this could be similar to that Brandon Cooks trade they did a couple years ago. Get like that.
I would say Calvin Ridley is a little better than Brandon Cooks.
You know, he is. He's better than Brandon Cooks. But I'm just saying it's kind of similar to that. I could see them trading him just straight up for a first round pick this year.
Yeah, maybe.
And that could really put New England push to make another Super Bowl run, honestly. Because they really don't have any receivers right now. They have like Kendrick Bourne and Jacoby Myers.
Speaking of New England, Patriots, Dolphins. These are always so much fun.
Sucks that this one has no stakes though.
Yeah.
Actually, I mean the Patriots could win the division and get home field advantage in the playoffs, but neither of these teams are getting the 1 seed. I don't think it's possible.
I mean, that's only if. And who are you taking?
Actually, New England can clinch the 1 seed.
Who are you taking?
You know what? Do I take Miami just because they always do it?
If you take Miami, I'm gonna take New England. So
yeah, I'm gonna go with Miami just because they've done it like 3 years in a row. Why not? Miami Dolphins.
But yeah, speaking of the Patriots clinching the division, that's gonna be kind of tough if the Jets and the Bills game doesn't go how you think it's gonna go.
Yeah.
Or does go how you think it's gonna go.
Yeah, but wait, I just want to talk about the Patriots Dolphins for a second. Yeah, Patriots Dolphins. I think the Dolphins are gonna do it again because why not? Heartbreaking loss for the Dolphins last week, going on a 7-game win streak just to lose in brutal fashion to the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah,
that was upsetting. I watched that whole game. Very upsetting considering like they're my second favorite team. I would have liked to see them. I'm not devastated by it because when you look at their 7-game win streak, they didn't really beat anyone legit besides Baltimore. And even then, that was just a very good mismatch.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wasn't expecting much for the Dolphins after their 1-7 start. But I mean, considering they don't even have their first round pick, it's nice that they at least tried, I guess. They get the participation award.
I mean, I don't think you would want that, but
No,
yeah.
I don't think you would want that either. But I'm saying they get it.
Jets Bills is the other game in this division. What are really the odds that the Jets beat the Bills here?
Yeah, I'm not going to take the upset here. I'm taking the Bills.
Yeah. And then Seahawks Cardinals.
Hey, wait. Don't move into the next one yet.
I'm not interested in Jets Bills.
I am. I'm interested in these teams.
Oh, Ben. Okay, what?
More specifically, Zach Wilson, who's been really good the past couple of weeks.
You want
also, what?
Do you think he's going to be good this game?
Yes. And you want to know who else has been good on the Jets? Braxton Berrios.
All right. Seahawks Cardinals.
You're not going to respond to Braxton Berrios?
Yeah, he's
good.
He's good. Yeah, he's probably the best.
He's sneaky. He's sneaky athletic.
Yeah. Yeah. Jets Bills. I'm gonna definitely take the Bills.
Yeah. Same. Seahawks Cardinals. What are the stakes for Arizona here? Obviously, nothing for Seattle, but Arizona needs to win this, and they need Los Angeles to lose to get the division. I don't think either of these teams can get the 1 seed. Is the 1 seed already wrapped up for Green Bay? Yeah. Yeah, Green Bay already has the 1 seed. So, I mean, this game means a lot for Arizona. I think Seattle's going to win this. I think they're going to pull off the upset.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you've taken too many Cardinals upsets this year, and they never really work out.
Maybe.
I'm gonna go.
Maybe it's just because I have a secret internal hatred to Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury.
You know what? I'm actually gonna go with it. Also, I'm also gonna choose the upset.
Why?
Why do you care?
I want to disagree.
Well, I think that the Seahawks will beat the Cardinals.
Oh,
I just think when it comes to a matchup like this, interdivisional, it doesn't matter kind of like the previous games. And
I'm still keeping my hot takes from the Cardinals in play. I still think they're going to be a first round exit.
I mean, they really could be. This playoff, the playoffs are really going to be crazy this year.
Yeah, we haven't even really talked about that much. We were talking about this early, not in the podcast, but any team in the AFC could realistically win the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, not like the Steelers and Ravens. This is assuming the Chargers and Colts make the playoffs. If the Chargers and Colts make the playoffs, any of those 7 teams I could easily see winning the Super Bowl. I mean, you got New England and Buffalo, could definitely see that. Kansas City and Tennessee, obviously the 2 biggest contenders. Then you got Bengals, who have really been amazing the past couple of weeks. Could see that.
I mean, everybody's contending.
And then the Colts, the Chargers were my dark horse Super Bowl contender the entire year. So obviously I can see that. And then never count on Jonathan Taylor. So the Colts can win it too, even as a 7th.
And then obviously the dynamic duo that is Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe Burrow and all of his other receivers too.
Yeah, T. Higgins, who's been an underrated player for a while. I've always been a fan of him. Happy to see that he's getting a little recognition now.
Yeah.
But I think we were talking about Seahawks Cardinals.
And we both took the upset this season. Ben's favorite team now. The Panthers play the reigning Super Bowl champions, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What do you think's gonna happen here? Curious.
What do I think is gonna happen? The Bucs are not resting people because they're. Wait, are they resting people? Let's see. What are they playing? They could be. They probably will be resting people actually because they're not playing for anything. But regardless, even if Blaine Gabbert is playing, I still think they're probably gonna win.
Dang. I mean, the pass rush on the Buccaneers is ridiculous.
Yeah.
The pass blocking on the Panthers is ridiculous just in the other way.
Yeah, the Panthers offensive line is historically bad. My opinion, probably one of the worst of all time. Right up there with I don't even know. David Carr's Texans.
Yeah.
It's up there.
I don't know about that.
It's up there. I think if Sam Darnold played the whole year, he would have broken that record, honestly, especially with the extra game.
I mean, I don't know about that.
I mean, the Cam Newton signing, clearly a publicity stunt, but it was still nice to see. I don't care how that worked out. It was nice.
Is it clearly a publicity stunt?
Maybe not, but it obviously didn't work out. But
yeah,
I still like to see it. I mean, it's basically just fan service for Panthers fans, but I liked it. I enjoyed watching him for a couple weeks, and he's probably never going to play in the NFL again. But so I enjoyed watching him.
Him and Antonio Brown should make a league.
They should, Ethan.
But
yeah, I just want to see the Panthers play their young players in this game. They did that a little last game. Derek Brown went crazy last game. He had a crazy sack. He made a couple of other big plays. I like that they're playing Darnold. I mean, obviously he's not the answer, but just give him some reps. Can't hurt. He's under contract.
And as for Sam Darnold, you think his career is over as a starter?
As a starter, yeah. I think he could be one of those guys that's thrown in like for competing for a starting job, but like definite starter, yeah definitely.
Yeah,
and I think that's going to be his role next year. He will be I think he'll be on the team next year. I don't see them trading him for like a 6th or 7th round pick. What's the point in that? Keep him.
The Panthers draft a QB.
Even if they draft a QB, keep him.
I mean, I guess so.
It can't hurt to have someone with like at least raw talent like that. Like,
yeah.
And just play him the last couple of weeks.
I'm gonna take the Buccaneers.
Yeah, I'm taking the Bucs as well. It doesn't really matter who they bench; they're gonna win.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hopefully, the Panthers don't win because they have a really nice pick right now, 6 overall, before the final week.
These last 2 games are very fun.
Yeah, these last 2 games are insane. No Monday Night Football game this week either. So all just Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
But yeah, these are probably the 2 best games of the day. Both of these, all 4 of these teams are fighting for playoff spots. Or not really fighting for play. They're fighting for either for positioning or playoff spots. So starting off 49ers, Rams. 49ers are fighting for the last playoff spot in the NFC, and the Rams are fighting for the division. And if the Rams win this, they automatically clinch the division because I think they have the tiebreaker if the Cardinals, and I believe if the 49ers win this, they automatically win the division. Or no, they automatically make the playoffs if they win this. And even if they lose, if the Saints lose, they'll still win. They'll still make the playoffs.
Yeah, so this
is definitely a very meaningful game.
Yeah, these games are both very high stake.
Who are you going to take in 49ers Rams?
49ers Rams. I mean, Rams have been my go-to team since the beginning of the season, so I'm going to stick with it. But I wouldn't be surprised if 49ers and Trey Lance showed something crazy happen.
49ers have been my go-to team since the start of the year for some reason.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going to take the 49ers in this. The 49ers always seem to beat the Rams anyways. I think they beat them earlier this year. They just always beat them.
Yeah, I don't think that in this division, a team really gets away with 2 wins against another.
They swept them last year too.
I don't know. The 49ers are not as good as the Rams, in my opinion.
Maybe I don't think they're as good either, but I think that they just always seem to have the Rams number in the games they play. Stafford has been really disappointing the last couple of weeks.
Maybe, but I'm still gonna take the Rams.
I mean, but I just want to talk about the Rams for a second. Like Matthew Stafford, I didn't realize how much they gave up in that trade. I have no clue why, but for the longest time, I thought all they gave up was a 1st-round pick and a 2nd-round pick, but they actually gave up 2 first-round picks.
And Jared Goff.
Yeah, and Jared Goff, who does mean he's not good, but he's a starter. He's a starting quarterback.
I mean, he was a 1st overall pick.
Yeah, he's a starting quarterback. That's all I'll say about him. He's a starting quarterback. Not much more, not much less. Maybe a little less, actually.
Yeah.
But definitely not a little more. But, I mean, has that trade really paid off for the Rams, in your opinion?
I mean, you think about the future, it's kind of hard to predict because you don't know what players will be when. Like, if the best player ever could come in the next couple of years, and the Rams would somehow be in position.
That's not what I really mean, though. Well, I mean, like, is that draft capital,
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, all right.
The Rams can't take anybody in the 1st round. So let's say the Rams really start getting bad. And let's say Matthew Stafford Didn't work out, and they're starting to lose. They lose those first round picks. I think it was just a little bit of a risky trade.
A little bit of a what?
A risky trade.
Yeah, I mean, I personally don't really see the value in this trade that much, like looking back on it, because even though he wasn't amazing, Jared Goff did take them to a Super Bowl. And
I mean, he didn't play great in that game either, but
no, he did not, but no one played great in that game.
I mean, yeah.
Not a single person really played good in that game.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's that much of an upgrade that it's really worth 2 first-round picks and a second-round pick. I mean, obviously Matthew Stafford's a better player. There's no question about that. But these past couple of weeks have shown that Matthew Stafford may not be he's an upgrade, but he may not be the type of upgrade the Rams were expecting that could carry them to a Super Bowl. Like, yeah, I don't know if I can see the Rams. I don't know if I could see the Rams beating Green Bay or Tampa in the playoffs. I don't know.
I think the Rams can make the Super Bowl.
I don't know. I can't really see it. They have a lot of star power, but especially star power that's really stepped up in the last couple of weeks. Adele has been crazy since he's been there. Von Miller had the game-sealing sack last week. But Matthew Stafford, it's all going to depend on him. If he's been playing like how he's been playing the last couple of weeks, they're not going to make the Super Bowl. They're going to lose to either Green Bay or Tampa, just like last year.
Especially because we know very little about Matthew Stafford in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I think he played 1 game in the playoffs, which he lost.
Yeah, so, I mean, we're just going to have to wait and see. But
yeah,
as for this game, I'm taking the Rams.
And I'm going to go with the 49ers. But this is definitely going to be I think it's going to be a good game since both teams are fighting, as well as the next game, Sunday Night Football, which, as we were talking about earlier, could end in a tie if they want to. That'd be hilarious. Yeah. I want that to happen. But Chargers, Raiders.
Shocking.
Chargers, Raiders. Chargers are just winning and you're in. Raiders, I believe, need a little more help.
Mm-hmm.
But very, very good game because both teams, they're fighting. If either team loses this, they're out. It's that simple. And I mean, it's strange to see the Chargers in this position because they have looked really good this year. It's surprising to see their record is only 9-7. Honestly, they've lost a lot of close games like usual.
So for me, even though it's just Raiders need a little more help and Chargers win it, I think that the Raiders actually are going to win this game.
Oh, and by the way, I was not correct about that. They actually have the same record, and whoever wins this is automatically in. So it's just winning or in.
Well, I'm definitely gonna take the Raiders here and root for them probably.
Interesting. Well, I'm going with the Chargers since I gotta take them. They've been my dark horse Super Bowl contender the entire year. I gotta take them to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
This is the game of the week, and I see why they flexed it to Sunday night. But Las Vegas could actually still make it even if they lose. But Los Angeles could not.
If this game somehow tied, that'd be crazy.
That would be like the Eagles last year to get the Giants out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. So that's the last game of the regular season. Our last game pick of the entire regular season.
Oh, wow. That was all the game picks.
Yeah.
Jeez. Wow. Playoffs are next week.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy.
I mean, there's going to be some great matchups. Bengals in the AFC. You got the Bengals. Who's your biggest contender in each conference? I just want to ask you that.
Oh, that's a tough one because NFC. I'm gonna go ahead and say the Packers.
All right.
Not the Rams. Even though I really think the Rams are good, I think Packers are better.
Yeah, I can see that. And what about AFC?
AFC is a lot tougher, but I'm really liking the Bengals recently.
All right.
Bengals are one of my favorite teams, but I think my safest option, if there even is one, is probably something like the Chiefs.
All right. Well, for me personally, I'm going to go with, even if in the Antonio Brown situation, I'm still going to go with the Bucs in the NFC just because Tom Brady in the playoffs is unstoppable. And as along with a historically good defense that won the Super Bowl last year. And then in the AFC, I'm going to go with Tennessee who is getting a healthy Derrick Henry back, along with they're in the number 1 seed, and they've been losing Derrick Henry since week 8, and they're the number 1 seed. You're telling me they're getting a healthy Derrick Henry back? That is the Super Bowl.
I mean, yeah, I wasn't even thinking straight. Let me even try and take the Bengals back.
I thought you loved Joe Burrow, though.
I do. I really think actually that game would be awesome. Titans.
Oh, that would be an offensive duel.
Yeah, that'd be a crazy. And
that'd be crazy.
Two great safeties as well.
Yeah, there's just gonna be so many good matchups.
Yeah,
I'm so excited for it.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, that wraps up our game picks for the regular season as well as week 18. We're gonna keep on coming out of episodes for the playoffs, so maybe some added stuff considering that there's only like 6 games for Wild Card Week.
Yep.
But yeah, we hope you guys enjoyed watching. Always check out the Instagram at Nano Blitz Podcast. We're regularly posting on there. Probably some special things for the playoffs too. We hope you guys enjoyed. And we hope you enjoy this last week of the NFL for regular season.
Playoff time, baby.
The playoffs are soon.
It's time for the playoffs. Oh my God.
Yep. Thank you guys for staying till the end. See you next time.